what's going on? It's crazy, man. I did a video a couple days ago, and I was just explaining to a lot of people on a particular video I did how safe Raleigh is, and then you have this tragedy. For those that are unaware of what happened in Raleigh, North Carolina, 5 people have been killed, one of them being a Raleigh PD officer. This happened, I think, yesterday, in a decent neighborhood, and the person that took those 5 innocent lives was a 15-year-old kid. We don't know the race, at this time it really doesn't matter. I don't even think it matters, period. You know what I'm saying? It's 5 people that are gone. Their families will be devastated or are devastated, and it's just a sad situation. The main reason why I did this video is because I just want to let people know that regardless of what kind of spin that's being put, political spin that is, that's being put on this story, because there will be a spin. Elections are coming, and Democrats will talk about how they want to do away with the assault rifle called the AR-15, and the AR to AR-15 doesn't stand for assault rifle. It's actually a semi-automatic rifle, meaning that you have to pull the trigger each time in order for a bullet to come out of that rifle. And AR and AR-15 doesn't mean assault rifle, it means armament rifle. You understand? So the Democrats will try to put a spin on it, and say that we need to do away with the AR-15 and it's the guns that we need to get off the streets and blah, 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 blah. And we're going to, as people that uphold the Second Amendment in the Constitution, such as myself and others, we're going to say the same thing. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Straight up. So let's look at it like this. If you were to take away all of the firearms, right? Guess what? People would pick up knives. If you were to take away all of the knives, people would pick up hammers. If you were to take away all of the hammers, people would pick up a bottle, and break it and then use that. People kill people. You understand? And this is the problem that we're having in America. Not the guns. You can make tons upon tons upon tons of guns. It wouldn't matter. The difference between, a person being killed when it comes to a something that's made by man is that thing that's made by man called a gun. The trigger has to be pulled by a human finger. Know that. So what we have to do is we have to get into the hearts and the minds of the people. We have to convince these people to put down the guns. Not so much to take away the guns, because think about it. If we would encourage people, the exact opposite of what the Democrats are doing. If we were to encourage people to have some type of form of protection inside their house, things like mass murders, massive shootings wouldn't happen. They wouldn't, because everybody would be protected. And I truly believe that. I really, truly believe that. Had I been in the neighborhood and I saw a kid with a rifle running around shooting people, now I'm not going to say I would be quick to get up and be a hero. No. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely would do something about it. I don't know what I actually would do. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely would do something about it. And that's the thing, man. Like, this is a real delicate subject, so I don't want to, like, offend anyone, but America has become pussified. We're such a sensitive country now. Everybody's sensitive. We don't want to hurt no one's feelings. You know what I'm saying? And everybody wants to take everybody to court for just one thing that a person may say out of the way. You can't use the N word. You can't use the F word. If you're at a job and you compliment a woman, you can't compliment a woman. You got to use pronouns now when you're referring to certain people in the LGBTQ community. You got to say him, her, they. It's just, we're so soft nowadays, man. How can we be the greatest country on the planet? How can we play the leadership role on the planet and we're just so soft? So soft till it's ridiculous. I carry my firearm wherever I go. Well, I'll say this. Wherever I go, with the exception of when you see that logo or sticker on the door that states in certain businesses that, you can't bring a firearm into my business or establishment. One of them being Whole Foods. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I carry my firearm wherever I go. If I'm going to the beach, if I'm going skating. I went to Miami, what was it, this past May. And I went through the legal procedures, closing having a case and locking it up and whatever guidelines TSA, had for me, to follow, I followed it to the T. And I transported my firearm on a plane to Miami, and I carried my firearm around Miami. I have my CCW. You know what I'm saying? And I have the legal right to conceal carry in Miami. Or basically everywhere in America, with the exception of New York and Los Angeles. So I make sure that I'm protected, or should I say, I at least have the fighting chance. I know some people till this day, family members and friends, they got mace. People have bats in their trunk. Like, what good is that gonna do when somebody's getting out of the car with a AR-15 or a handgun? What good is that gonna do? A bat or a pocket knife or mace? It's not gonna do anything at all. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't know how I made it throughout all these years when I didn't have my firearm. I just don't know. But then again, I barely made it. I've been a victim several times in the past. I've been robbed twice. I've been pistol whipped. I've gotten jumped 3 times. And in each situation, if I had my firearm in the past, now this is a long time ago, had I had my firearm in the past, I could have actually pulled it out, and I don't want to say, you know what I mean. I could have pulled it out and took some people down. I'll say it like that. Because here in North Carolina, you have to stand your ground. But this is what I'm saying, man. People, the Democratic Party is trying to get people to say that firearms, or rather guns, are the problem. It's not. It's the people. People are the problem. Like I said before, and I say it again, if you take away the guns, then guess what? Somebody's going to pick up a bat or whatever. It's, in other words, what I'm saying, people are just naturally violent. And there are other people that are not. And that You're always going to need protection regardless. Regardless. There are people out here, that are poor, that don't have much. And they're willing to take from someone that has what they don't have. So there's several different circumstances and situations or reasons why people shoot, hurt, and kill people. But the solution is not to take the guns away. That is the worst solution. Because when you take the guns away from the people, how are they going to defend themselves from real criminals? See, criminals can go out there and they can get guns. Yo, when I was younger, no lie, and I was in the streets like that, man, it wasn't nothing to get a gun. Nothing. If you had the money, you know what I'm saying? You got the connect, you can get a gun. But doing it the legal way, straight up, you got to go through some things. You got to go through some things. And if the Democrats get what they want, you're not going to be able to get any guns, period. The only people that are going to have guns are the bad guys and the police officers. And let me tell you something. You are your first responder, not the police officers. You can call the cops right now, and it doesn't make a difference where. It just depends on where you're at. And neighborhood too. You know what I'm saying? So where you're at, it just depends on how long it's going to take them to get there. And then neighborhood, it just depends on if they're going to come. For some odd reason, they don't really like, getting to the hood as fast as they would get to, the white suburban area. And that's not a shot, no pun intended, being taken at the cops, but it's just the truth. So you have to be your own first responder. When you hear something go at night, of course it would be the right thing to call the cops. But it would be the right thing to call the cops. But while you're doing that, guess what? You got to be the man of the house. If you have children, you have a wife, you have to protect them. And they rely on you. You are their protection. You know what I'm saying? So why not have something? I'm not saying, you should get big rifle and go out and get tons of guns and stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying have you some protection. Period. And that's crazy, it happened in a nice, well-to-do neighborhood, and I'm assuming that there was some gun owners, and maybe they wanted to mind their own business. Everybody doesn't want to be a hero, for real, and I respect that. You know what I'm saying? You let the cops or the police officers do their job. That's what they get paid to do. But you going out there risking your life, and you turn up, dead, then and you have children, you have a family, then your family's gonna miss you. I get it. But I think the vast majority of people that were in that neighborhood didn't have any firearms. They didn't. And could you imagine just, living in a real community? Because, man, let's be real. Here in the South, I don't know about any other place, but here in the South, when they talk about communities and neighborhoods, ain't nothing neighborly or community. Nobody communicates in these communities. And nobody's neighborly in the neighborhoods. Straight up. Every so-called neighborhood should be called a hood because everybody is to themselves. But just think about that. If they really had a community like gun, what is it? A gun club. And in each, let's say every Saturday, they would meet up, people that could in the community. Let's say just the men would meet up at this particular gun range, local gun range right up the street. And just take on some type of tactical training, just in case something were to happen just like this. Because, see, something like that happened like this in Raleigh, if they were prepared, if people were prepared, it wouldn't be so many killings. when I hear stuff like this, it makes me, you know what I'm saying, beef up. Beef up meaning that, okay, well, let me go ahead and make sure that my son knows how to, you know, put the gun in the, put the magazine in the gun, cock it back, aim, fire. You know what I'm saying? Let me take them more, let me take them out to the range more. Because you never know. You never know. And you definitely have to make sure that your loved ones are well taken care of and protected. You know what I'm saying? You know, there may be times where I might have to run to the store and I'm telling my son, you know, my daughter to hold the fort down. I got to make sure that they know just where to go, just in case something happened, just where to go, where the gun is at. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? If need be, do what you do. But it's not the day and time to take away our guns. It's just not. So, you know, for whoever's listening to this video, you know, I encourage you all, if you don't already have a firearm in the house, get you one. You know, one of the first rules to owning a firearm is gun safety. Gun safety. Gun safety. Gun safety. I can say this 1,000,001 times. You understand? But this is not the solution. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, man, they are going to take this. You know what I'm saying? Elections are coming up. Democratic Party is going to take this and they're going to be like, look what happened in Raleigh, North Carolina. I can hear it now. It's echoing in my ear as I'm talking to you right now. Because that's what politicians do. They're not for and by the people. They're not. And politicians can be bought. You know, there's such thing called lobbyists. Lobbyists. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, I advise you all, you know what I'm saying, to be vigilant. Be aware of your surroundings. And if need be, you got to take matters in your own hands. Guess what? You got something to take matters in your own hands instead of a bat. Some mace. You know, I could show you countless of videos on YouTube where a police officer used mace and the guy kept on advancing forward to try to harm that police officer. I could show you countless of videos where police officers shot the criminal 5-6 times and the guy kept on advancing. So there's times where even when you have a firearm and you shot that dude 5-6 times, that still doesn't stop him. So what makes you think mace is gonna stop him? What makes you think a baseball bat is gonna stop him? Hell, I gotten hit in the head with a gun a few times, and I'm telling you, the first hit was like pop. It was like a pop, and I still was kind of conscious and aware. It wasn't until after the third and fourth hit where I was like woozy, like, oh yeah, let me get the hell out of here. And I'm not ashamed or embarrassed to say that the dude that hit me with the pistol a couple of times, I was getting away from him. You know what I'm saying? And this is one other thing, then I'm done. You know, people always talk about what they would do. You know, all these so-called superheroes and shit. I call them the motherfuckers that look at Marvel movies and DC movies and read Marvel DC comic books and shit, thinking they Superman, Batman, or some shit. Nah, you don't know what you would do when danger just happens just like that. You don't. So yeah, man, I would just tell you to be prepared, be vigilant. You know, I'm not going to tell you should change your life and, you know, walk around here with bulletproof vests and shit like that. But if you feel comfortable and more safe that way, then do it. You know what I'm saying? Hell, there's still people wearing masks. It's still people that's wearing masks till this day. Because they think COVID is just as much as a threat as it was a couple years ago. Right now. You know what I'm saying? So whatever makes you safe, whatever makes you feel safe at night, morning, noon, do it. Straight up, because you only get one life. One. And that's it. Once your life is taken, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. Oh, one last thing too. As we can see, you know, this shit ain't happening just in the hoods. Yo, we're gonna have to reevaluate some things, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit is just not happening in the hoods. You know, now, you know, you can sit there, for those that are non-black, will sit there and say, well, look what happened to black, killing black people and this and that and so forth. But yo, we don't know the race of that kid, that 15-year-old kid, but 9 times out of 10, you know he's probably Caucasian. Let's just be real. So, havoc. People are wreaking havoc in no matter what neighborhood it is. Straight up. You can sit there and say black on black crime in the black neighborhoods, but look what's going on in your neck of the woods, in white suburbia. So let's just say maybe the 15-year-old kid ain't white. But I can give you countless of times where white kids went inside a public school and shot and killed other kids. So let's stop this race shit. Let's stop this ban and gun shit and really have an open conversation about what's going on, so we can come up with a concrete solution. Because this is not just happening in the black community, it's happening in the white community as well. Got it? Other than that, my name is Langston2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely share this video. Peace.